Hi everyone. The reason I think that Bitcoin is so interesting is because there is supposed to be a one world monetary system coming, and there is supposed to be a special mark in that right hand or the forehead so that people cannot buy or sell. So watching the developments of the monetary system, Bitcoin, digital currencies, cryptocurrencies, or whatever it may involve in, this is part of the process. And so I find it really fascinating because I think most of us can agree we don't want to have some kind of RFID chip installed in our bodies. And you know, if you read Revelation 13, the price people paid for not accepting it was death. So who's gonna have the courage to choose death over having an RFID or some other kind of authentication device installed in your body? Who's going to be able to say no and not cross that line? I don't know. But look, here is something else about Bitcoin that's fairly new. This is misleading right here. 0.999 fine silver on a Bitcoin. I think you better go get 0.999 fine silver and not Bitcoin. But this article here, as you can see, U.S. Attorney subpoenaed Mt. Gox and other Bitcoin businesses. So it's not just Mt. Gox. So the government is going after it. CIA, FBI, you know, all those organizations, NSA, they're all, if they're not part of it and making this happen or having originated, they're going after it. Anyway, so what I want to show you is this. So they have sent subpoenas to Mt. Gox, other Bitcoin exchanges, businesses that deal in Bitcoin, to seek information on how they handled recent cyber attacks. Okay, so this is a big problem for people who want to deal with Bitcoin. In the attacks known as distributed denial of service attacks, which is what Bitstamp also had, not just Mt. Gox, hackers overwhelmed Bitcoin exchanges by sending thousands of phantom transactions. At least 3 exchanges were forced to halt withdrawals of Bitcoins on February 7th, including Mt. Gox, which was the largest at the time. So, you know, they lost 409 million Bitcoins, equivalent in dollars, not sure. Mt. Gox never resumed service before going dormant on Tuesday, leaving customers unable to recover their funds. Can you imagine losing your money like that? Oh, that would be so terrible. The Tokyo-based company's chief executive, Mark Karpelès, said earlier on Wednesday that he's working with others to solve the problems. Yes, we saw that in his letter on their website. As there is a lot of speculation regarding Mt. Gox and its future, I would like to use this opportunity to reassure everyone that I'm still in. Okay, I read that before on the other site. Yes, he's there. And he's got a statement on his site. Bitcoin, a form of electronic money independent of traditional banking, relies on a network of computers. You know, the transhumanists want to get us networked into computers, you know. So there are plans for that if you read up on the aims and goals of the transhumanists. So it relies on a network of computers that solve complex mathematical problems as part of a process that verifies and permanently records the details of every Bitcoin transaction that is made. So permanently records and verifies. There is no anonymity in this. The Bitcoin market is worth about $7 million. Investors deposit their Bitcoins in digital wallets at specific exchanges, so the Mt. Gox shutdown is similar to a bank closing its doors. People cannot retrieve their funds. And some people are screaming at us to get our money out of the brick and mortar banks even right now. While proponents of Bitcoin hail its anonymity and lack of ties to traditional banking, regulators have become increasingly interested in the digital currency due to its usage by criminal elements and its volatile nature. Okay? Regulators. Who are they? You know, the government. It has been a rough month for Bitcoin investors, with cyber attacks on several exchanges, a sharp fall in Bitcoin's value, and rising pressure from regulators. Bitcoin's prices varies from exchange. That's something I don't understand. But the losses were more dramatic on Mt. Gox, where it fell to about $135 from $828.99. But if you bought it on if you went to Mt. Gox and you bought a bunch of Bitcoin at $135, their doors are shut, so you would just be throwing your money away. Who cares if it was, you know, $10 and you bought 10,000? You lose. Mt. Gox has been broken, and it was obvious there was something really bad going on there for nearly a year. They were processing withdrawals very slowly and generally being very opaque about what was going on there, said Mike Hearn, a Bitcoin developer in Zurich, Switzerland. A second source familiar with the case said U.S. federal law enforcement is investigating Mt. Gox. Okay, federal law enforcement. A third source said the U.S. Federal Bureau of Investigation was monitoring the situation. So we got the FBI. Japan's finance minister and police are also looking into the abrupt closure of Mt. Gox. Malleability. Okay, what I wanted to show you about all this is what it says down here. All right, right now, okay, the price of Bitcoin was lately at $588 on Bitstamp, up about 7%. So in spite of all of this, it's going up. But this paragraph right here says something to me. Right now is a sweet buying opportunity. I don't think you're going to see Bitcoin go this low for a while, if ever again. Okay, there's scarcity for you. And bandwagon, said Jordan Kelly, chief executive of RoboCoin, which launched the world's first Bitcoin ATM in Vancouver, Canada in the fall, which we now have in Hong Kong, but I don't know where it is. The more that Bitcoin is on the front pages, here's the key sentence. The more that Bitcoin is on the front pages, the more that people are discussing it and educating one another, the better for the currency. So it has a lot of problems, but the more that it's in the public eye, the more people will find out about it, and it will take root in society. I think that's what this means. And there is a problem, then the government will step in, the FBI, the whoever else they are, Secret Service, you know, the NSA, and they will revamp it to what they intended for it anyway in the first place, because the goal is to get everyone under this one world monetary system and being authenticated, so you can authenticate you might be forced to have a wallet online. So it's good to have these problems. It gets things in people's eyes. Look, it's just like on Yahoo, just story after story after story. It's just like this is, and it's now being accepted by all kinds of retail places online, even brick and mortar places are taking it. It's becoming a very prominent aspect of our daily lives right now. There was a time when no one knew anything about Bitcoin, but I think everyone knows it. Okay, so this is Diocletian's problem, reaction, solution. So in a way, it seems like this is that kind of a situation. Okay, we have this currency, we have this huge problem, people are losing millions, $409 million or 409 million Bitcoin, whichever, either way, it's tons of money. And now we have to solve the problem. And the problem seems to be in security. How to make it secure. Okay, so this is a further example of how elites through history commit acts of terrorism as a pretext to create enemies and corral, this is it, corral populations behind a tyrannical agenda. So having the one world monetary system and everybody numbered and marked like Aaron Rousseau said, the Rockefellers told him, and also like the Bible says, Revelation 13. This is a classic example here of a method. So you can read this. This is really good, written by Paul Joseph Watson, who is a good reporter, and this story here about Diocletian is quite fascinating. Okay, well, I'll let you read it yourself, because he just tells all the story about, oh look, he visited Antioch in Syria. Well, he was kind of an evil guy, and he burnt down his own palace to blame it on the Christians. And he cut out someone's tongue, Romanus, his tongue, blame the Christians, and he had purges. So Constantine was the first Christian emperor. Okay. So here we go. Those who do not learn from history are condemned to repeat it. George Santayana. Okay, so be careful about Bitcoin and what's coming, and don't take the mark of the beast, whatever it is. Don't get anything and say no, even if you may have to lose your head. Thank you for watching. God bless. Bye for now.